Okay guys, there's a top cover plate that's on most of these. They do allow you to adjust the carburetor. So you can slide your screwdrivers through these to get everything adjusted. But we're going to take it off, completely remove it. These are going to be Phillip heads. So we're going to take this guy off, set it down to the side. You may laugh at me, but for every build I'm working on, I always have a little coffee can or some kind of container. And I take everything and throw it in there, and then I put it on the seat or on the sideboard. That way I don't lose anything. So we're going to take this cover off. We're going to take this off. These bolts right here are going to be 3/8. So we're going to be using 3/8 to get these guys off, and we will get started on it. You've seen wrenches, so more to come in just a second. Okay guys, now we've gotten this off. Interestingly enough, and I've never lost one of these was a 3/8, one was a 10mm. So just have them handy. I mean, it's nothing earth-shattering. That PCV, positive crankcase ventilation, it's what we call them in cars, but I guess it's a crankcase vent. Pull that guy out. There it is right there. Somebody, if I called it a wrong name, tell me what the wrong name is. This comes off. This is what we're talking about. I'm going to set this aside here. You'll notice it's completely loose now, but we're not nearly ready to take it off yet, because before we do this, I always, let me get you where you can see something in the light here, if I don't block it with my fat hand. I'm going to mark this guy with a Sharpie. It's going to be a lot easier to find and set this. I'm going to do it on the choke. I'm going to do it on the carburetor linkage. I mean, always. Why not? Save you an hour. Alright guys, now I've also pulled up the schematics. I'm going to show it to you from one of the repair manuals that I've got on this carburetor. Save everything. Even if you think nothing is any good on this guy, save it. Every part in this thing is terribly expensive. I mean terribly expensive. So save every piece, part, scrap. If you've got a buddy that has one and he says he'll sell it to you for 20 bucks and it's clogged up completely, buy it, and if you don't, I will, because every part on here is very expensive. Okay, more to come. Now, this top bracket that holds this cable, this top cable, you see this is for the choke. The cable on the bottom, tilt the camera down, this is for the throttle. You can mix them up. I have. So it's a Phillips head to take these guys off. And there we go. This guy's coming out. If you do have to take the bolt out completely, put it in and tighten it back down with a bracket. These little parts are hard to find. There we go. That and that. Both of those are off. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back. I've already taken the fuel line off. This is the fuel line that goes in here. Also off to the side here, let's tip over a little bit. I have a fuel cutoff switch. I try to keep that on all of mine, and an inline fuel filter. We're going to take this guy and set it up here. Now, this carburetor on the side here has an overflow. If the needle valve sticks, fuel will drain out here, and so a lot of times you'll have a long hose that runs down here below the muffler pipes to let the fuel drain out instead of flowing into the crankcase. It's really good. I've only run across that on these, but you know, I've not run across every one of them out there. Now, this is the bracket that holds the air cleaner. I've already loosened it up. It is a 10 millimeter, I want to say. Yeah, 10 millimeter. So we're not going to take both sides out. We're just going to take one side off completely, and we're going to loosen one side. We're going to let it hang down. This piece is going to hang down. That going to go down there. Don't have to mess with that. I did loosen this up, but I'm not going to take it off completely. And this bolt, I'm putting this guy back in here, right here, just because I'm paranoid about it like that. Now, this carburetor is ready to come off. So, there we go. Now try not to bend your linkage. There's a lot of different ways you can take it off. There, I've unclicked it. There's a spring here. Hoping you can see this. Yeah, you can kind of see it. And then I'll take that, set that back there. All that stuff goes back exactly the way it was. This little clip here, don't lose this. Your life will be miserable if you lose this guy. Don't lose that. It stays on most of the time. The spring, the linkage, that linkage, they're all staying up here. Nobody's going to bump it or anything like that. It's all going to stay right here. Now, carburetor's off completely. Now's the time to do the fun stuff. More to come, guys. Okay, guys, now we're down to the meat of it. We are at the carburetor. This is a ARRAN, I think. If I'm wrong, please correct me and give me the correct name of this. This is an ARRAN carburetor, I believe. It's kind of gummed up and marred up, but I think that's what it says. ARRAN. If I'm wrong, list it down below. But we're going to go ahead and take this guy apart and see what we can do. The anti-backfire solenoid has long since been destroyed. Guy. There's that. This is a gasket that I purchased recently, so the gasket is not in bad shape. And just to give you an idea of the cost of these things, I think I paid $5 for the gasket. This fuel float, I've seen them for like $25 in Briggs and Stratton on their websites. Like I said, if I'm wrong, let me know. These things are freaking outrageous. I may not even take that guy off. I don't know. I may. More to come. Okay, guys, I went ahead and took it off. And if you haven't figured it out yet, this is going to be a long video, but I want to be as thorough as I can. That's the pin that holds the needle valve. This is the float, and then this is the needle for the needle valve. Sadly enough, I do not believe the other floats off of the LMT carburetors are going to fit on this guy. I think I've tried it and it flooded. So, just throwing that out there. Try it if you want to. Now, we're going to start taking the rest of this guy apart. Then we're going to soak it. More to come. Okay, guys. I've gotten everything reduced as much as I can, and sad to say, can't get this jet out. What is that? Is it down in, what do they call that? Orifice tube? Can't get that guy out. So, they're all frozen down in there. So, what we're going to do is soak it and hope that it will loosen up in the dip tank. More to come. Okay, guys, now we're going to take this guy, set him in there. Got it set for 380 seconds. I have purple power, a degreaser inside it. And now we're going to let it cook. More to come.